Namaskar. I don't pull any punches when it comes to looking or criticizing the Modi government. I'm saying today that the BJP is a two-man run party. I've been saying this for a while now. Sometimes I added a half, but right now it is just a two-man run party. And whatever happened in the reconstitution of the parliamentary board just confirms that. And you just look at all the different things that they put out. They will put out a 75-year-old rule to keep some people out, like for example Advani and Murli Manohar Joshi. They did not want them to be accommodated for ministerial posts in the 2014 cabinet. So those guys said that 75-year-old rule applies. And this doesn't apply to Dr. Swami because he was only 74 in 2014. Anyway, but he had to be also excluded. So they tried to somehow shoehorn that also and make him look like that. And I'll come to that Dr. Swami Singh in a little bit because you'll all jump up and say, aha, here is a guy, PGurus is a Swami mouthpiece, and they're going to talk about it. I'm going to mention something else, and that has nothing to do with me touting virtues or anything like that. So let's just wait for a second. So 75-year-old rule has been broken. Who are the ones that now are rewarded? Yadiyurappa, because they need to win in Karnataka. It's as plain as black and white. There is nothing different. That's one thing. Second thing is, you all know that the Attorney General is now a good, sprightly 90-year-old man. K.K. Venugopal, he might be great. But how is the government handling some of the cases in the courts? Sometimes the Solicitor General is a no-show. So it doesn't matter. However good Mr. Venugopal is as an Attorney General, it doesn't look like he is wielding any power. I mean, send me comments, guys, and rebut me with facts saying that no, there was a situation where the Attorney General put his foot down and had his way. Okay, so that 75-year-old rule has been broken. In fact, a couple of people in the new entrants into the parliamentary board are over 75 years. That rule has been broken. Again, I'm not criticizing it. I'm not saying whether this is right or wrong. I'm just saying what I see. And feel free to agree with me or disagree with me. If you're disagreeing or agreeing with me, just put it in by way of comments and say why. I mean, I would like to hear from all of us. I mean, as a country, as a world, as a civilization, we can only make progress when you do tarka, debate. Okay, next thing. Now, many people, I mean, and I expect that to come here. Swami was kept out because he pulled down Vajpayee government. Now, I have done a lot of videos to kind of prove that that was not true. And see, many people don't even ask the role of the speaker. GMC Balayogi, who was a TDP person, what was he thinking? Was he not part of the NDA coalition? There was a person who had become chief minister of a state. He was still an MP. And he said that you have to vote your conscience. This person was brought in drunk and he voted against the government. So all these things are there. Nobody asked this question, but everybody will say, oh, Swami brought the downfall. Okay, this is done and dusted, guys. So, okay, that is one case. That's why Modi kept Swami out. What happened to Nitin Gadkari? What did he do? The fact that he is now dropped from parliamentary board tells me that in less than a year, he probably will also lose his ministry. And then within a month of that, they'll send a notice saying, vacate your premises. I mean, they want you out of sight, out of mind. It's a relentless pursuit. The same thing happened to Dr. Swami also, but he has been able to hold on to his house. I don't know for how long. So you'd have seen some tweets from him saying this. So this kind of witch hunting is not right. These are your own partymen, Mr. Modi. And also, what happened to Shivraj Singh Chouhan? What did he do? The fact that he is now out of the parliamentary board means that perhaps BJP is readying a successor to Shivraj Singh Chouhan for the 2023 elections. Who is it going to be? Jyotiraditya Scindia? Possible. Because he might be feeling stifled in center. He might want to go to state where there's a certain amount of autonomy possible. Certain amount. Again, I feel that democracy is taking a beating the way it is run in India right now. It doesn't matter whether it is BJP or Congress or whichever party, there is a beating going on of democracy. And the reason I'm flashing my book behind the back is I'm trying to explain in that book, fictionally of course, what it takes to put back democracy in a party. Narasimha Rao tried it in 1990s. He in fact even had elections done. But how long did it last? One president. Once 1996. In fact, I would say that many congressmen worked to defeat Narasimha Rao because he wasn't going and paying Madam a visit. And that was the price he had to pay. But he stood his ground. So look at some of these prime ministers. They show spine. Charan Singh showed spine and stood up to Indira Gandhi. So there are situations, there are instances where the Indian politicians have acted with a lot of probity, and these are people who are not corruptible. In fact, they had 3 cases hoisted against Narasimha Rao ji, and he had to sell his house in Hyderabad to pay for the cases. And all those 3 cases, he was acquitted. But that is life. This is Kali Yuga, that's so. I'm not, bitter or anything like that. I'm just stating the facts. You guys have to think. I'm not here to say don't vote for BJP. If my preference is, hold your nose and vote for BJP because the others are far, far worse. But at the same time, somebody should be asking these questions. Now, it is more than abundantly clear that there was a challenge given to Modi in a cabinet meeting where, remember that Nagpur-based newspapers report about a senior leader challenging Modi, saying that out of the 303 BJP MPs, this person had 252. Now it is becoming much more clearer that perhaps it was Sri Nitin Gadkari. The coincidence is very difficult to miss because the journalist who wrote that article was from Nagpur. Where does Gadkari belong to? Nagpur. So you do the math. I'm not saying what has happened is happened. Will Gadkari be able to mount a return? I don't know. It is up to him. In fact, he's been talking about quitting politics because he saw the writing on the wall. So that is one side. What did Shivraj Singh Chouhan do? Did he not put up a very stiff fight in the last elections? Of course, he's now the chief minister again. But wasn't there a lot of... He was an incumbent and he still almost pulled it off in the face of Kamal Nath spending hordes and hordes of money to come back to power. Anyway, so that is something that will be a question mark. I think he's also being eased out. So Vasundhara Raje Scindia was also eased out the same way from Rajasthan, I think will be my prediction again. So if you are going to infuse fresh blood at the state level, what are you doing about center? This also is answered in my book, Who Painted My Future Bright. Also, you might notice a very, very significant chief minister is not part of the parliamentary board, Yogi Adityanath. To understand what happened in Kashi Gyanvapi Mosque, you should watch a video by Sandeep Deo, Sandeep Deo. It's in Hindi, but it will tell you what is happening between the chief minister of Uttar Pradesh and the two-man regime that is at helm in Delhi. Now, these people will not explain to you why they did not act in the case of Shaheen Bagh or the Delhi riots or the farmer crisis, nor will they explain why they kowtowed to Qatar, of all people. Yeah, they were going to give you natural gas, they were going to cut it off. Where were they going to sell it? Your market is huge. When are you going to realize that you can use your market power to tell people what price you will pay? I never see these kinds of discussions also in India's MSM. Somebody should be asking these questions, putting up the numbers. How much gas, natural gas, is India buying from Qatar or from anybody else? The moment some of these numbers cross 10%, then you are a big player. You are a big enchilada. You have to act like it. If you don't act like it, then people are going to ride roughshod over you. Just my 2 cents again. Now, family dynastic politics. Does this not apply to the two-man consortium? Family, there is a very tongue-in-cheek phrase, present company excluded. Doesn't apply to Amit Shah and Narendra Modi? Well, Narendra Modi is single. Okay, great. He has kept his family members out. Excellent. And he doesn't even visit his estranged wife. Great. He has given his everything for the country. Excellent. Thank you. Naman. What happened to Mr. Amit Shah? Oh, you're saying that Amit Shah's son is not a politician, but he's merely a office holder in BCCI? When was the last time proper elections were held for the BCCI? When is the Supreme Court open that envelope that contains 13 players who were proved to have been fixing matches. Can anyone explain how KL Rahul became the captain for the current series against Zimbabwe? I told you before itself, when he was engaged to this movie person, that look, this guy is going to be the captain of choice. Why? Well, for that, you have to read my other book, Who Painted My Lust, right? I'm not beating my drum here. You have to decide what it is that is coming out of all these books. It's all sort of like, I'm able to read a lot of these, instances and connecting the dots and coming up with a narrative. I may miss a few things. I may add a few things. But what I would like you all to know is my books are fun, easy to read, breezy, but there's always something like a gyan that is coming underneath. That is for you to know and understand. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, PGurus, and don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. If you think that this video was useful, consider donating to us using the super thanks button. Namaskar. Thank you.